Today I plan on answering the question, who is the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna DLC for? Now first of all, if you're a fan of the Xenoblade series, hello, welcome, the water's warm, come on in, and I hope you brought your bathers. Secondly, if you are a hater of the Xenoblade Chronicles series, I can kind of understand. Listen, we all have our preferences, games that we like, games that we don't, and I doubt this game of the Xenoblade series is going to change your mind. Now, if you're still torn on Torna or not, hello, welcome. Let's jump into whether you should play, technically, the DLC for the second game in the Xenoblade series. Now you're probably thinking, let me stop you right there, Eric. If this is the second game in the Xenoblade series, and this is the DLC for the second game, how is this a good place for anyone to start that hasn't played a Xenoblade game before? And the truth is, this is actually a way better place to start than you might think. You see, first of all, this is a standalone, a self-contained game. Now this may be DLC for a game that's already out, but it is certainly standalone, and you do not need to experience the previous Xenoblade games to enjoy this one. You're going to get its own story and its own, as I said, self-contained story that you're going to follow and understand and enjoy without having to go back and play those other games. Are you going to miss little bits and bobs? Yeah, maybe, but at the end of the day, you don't need them to appreciate what this game is. Secondly, if you're just jumping in here, the game does throw all the tutorials for everything you need to know straight into it. So you are not going to be confused about what to do. In fact, you're going to be overloaded with tutorials. And if you're returning to the game, get ready for tutorials on stuff that you probably already know. But you're going to need a few of them because there's a lot of new stuff here to learn as well. So in fact, you know, if you've played the previous Xenoblade Chronicles games, you know what tutorials are all about because you just experienced probably 100 hours of them. Another great reason to start here is that it is short. It's not the length of a normal Xenoblade game. I mean, normally you're looking like 60 to 80 hours to get through the campaign of a Xenoblade game. And to see and do everything, you're probably looking at like 150, 200 hours plus. But to run through the story of this new Torna DLC is probably going to take you maybe 15, maybe 20 hours. And I can't say the 100% yet, but you're probably looking like more like 40 or 50. Which is just great because if you're like me and you want to get into a new JRPG, but the main thing that scares you off from trying a new series is the length, then this game is really inviting for those type of people. And second of all, it's just kind of come at that time of the year that everything is so busy, there's so much going on, there's so many games grabbing your attention. And the thing is normally when Xenoblade games come out, it's normally around December sometime, which means that, for myself anyway, I'm on holiday, I get plenty of time to kind of sink and dive myself right deep into these games. But this time of year, I don't have such a luxury, so it kind of works out perfect that I can just dive into this, have a short experience, and dive back into the rest of the releases that are happening right now. Now, if you've played a Xenoblade game before and you're wondering, what's this game doing to entice me to kind of come into it? As I said, one, it's shorter, it's not going to demand as much time from you, which means leveling up is faster, learning new stuff is faster. You may remember tutorials, as I mentioned before, in the last game, kind of just going throughout the entire game, and like even at maybe the 20 or 40 hour mark, you were still learning new things that were key parts of the combat. In this, it's sped up so much, like within the first kind of 4 hours, you've got a lot of the combat mechanics already happening, which means that depth is already there, you're not waiting for it to come. Another great reason, if you've played the previous ones, is that this is updated with all the kind of latest things that the last games got in updates. So things like there was an updated map and a whole bunch of other features that just made the game a lot more smoother and better to play. This new game has got a lot of those features. And one of my favourite ones is the no aggro, meaning that I can just freely run around the map, if you turn this option on, that is, because I mean it is an option that you can choose to turn on and off, but I played with it on and it just meant that I could run around the map, freely explore the map and take on whatever enemies that I wanted to take on and avoid any that I didn't. Apart from elite monsters, there's just no choice with those, but the rest of them I could just run around the map. Which is great. I love challenging enemies in the map, but I like being selective. I hate running around and having them constantly run into me. Then there's probably some of you out there who enjoyed Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but just don't want to just do more story. They want more to the game, maybe some change, maybe something new, and this game does offer that. It offers a lot of kind of new things for you to see and do. One of the main ones is the community system. You're kind of going to be building up a community of people. Now obviously in Xenoblade games we're used to similar stuff like this before, but this kind of takes it and puts a different little bit of a spin on it. A lot of the side quests are tied to actually doing this community system, and it's something that I'm kind of really enjoying in the game, although it does pop up a lot, which you can choose to turn off, because I find it slows down the pace of the game every time I get to a new town, because it's just like, I gotta talk to everyone, pause, talk, pause, talk, pause. And so I recommend just seeing how deep you want to get into that. If you're the type of person that's going to pull you out of the experience every time it pauses kind of what you're doing, then maybe think about just turning that option off unless you're really into it, like I kind of am at the moment actually. Also, the combat has seen a lot of changes here. It's still recognizable, you still will know what this combat is, but there's a lot of new stuff going on here that I'm not going to go through, but just know that this isn't just going to be the same thing that you were doing last time. It's just going to be similar and recognizable, but with new systems layered on top and new different things you're going to be doing, basically because of the way the blade system works. In the end, I think this is a fantastic first Xenoblade game, which is really strange to say, as I said, the second game and the DLC for the second game, but it's really kind of approachable and easy to get into. If you've played a Xenoblade game before, you kind of, hopefully by now you know where your head's at and whether you want to get into this game or not. And if you're me, you're just ready to 100% this game and just dive all the way through it, because I love these games. But that is a story for another time. Thank you for joining me today, and remember, like button, subscribe button, you do you, and for everything Nintendo, stay tuned to Nintendo Everything.